Hey guys, hope you're enjoying Mickey Mania so far. In the meantime, I thought I'd show you all a neat little tool that I found, a neat little program. It's called OE Cake, unless I'm mistaken. I don't know how to pronounce it for sure, but as you can see, it's another physics simulation tool. You know how much I love these. There's a heavy emphasis on water and fluid physics. One of the more interesting things that I find about this particular program, though, is the amount of detail put into the interaction between the objects. Like, that's a heater, and this is snow. Snow falls on the heater. It kind of evaporates. Well, it melts into water first. You can see some of the water down here if it's dribbled off, but if the water remains on the heater, let's just put some water here, it evaporates into steam. That's all pretty basic, nothing you haven't seen before if you fool around with these sorts of things. Of course, there's fuel and fire to give you something to burn. There's rigid objects that move. There's also rigid objects that stay static in one place, but can have things put into them. There's very thick viscous fluids, which would be kind of like your oil or whatever. There's very dense fluids, which will always sink underneath water, as you can see here, although it's starting to run slow because I have so much on the screen. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but fluid can be kind of a tricky thing to render, and I don't have the world's best computer, not to mention I'm recording this. There's also very light substances that'll always float on water. Let's see. There's several other materials to play with. I'm selecting the materials from the right side of the screen, by the way. You can't see it on here because I didn't include the entire window, because the video would be too large. But you can check out the video, the program for yourself if you want to. I'll have a link to it on the side of the screen. You can have something that constantly pours into the level turned on. You can also have the ability to just let everything fall off the screen instead of acting like there's a floor down there. That's with the drain turned on, and that's with the drain turned off. There's heaters and coolers, and we can make a little paradox situation here where we have some steam that'll keep on getting turned back and forth into water and then into steam as it touches the heating and cooling elements. I guess it would work a little bit better if I did something more like that and placed the water right in here. Pretty neat. Let's see, you can make gas. You can just kind of make it and have it float around. You can drag things by right-clicking on them, by the way. There's like spring material and elastic material, which are very similar to each other, but the elastic is more rigid and springy, whereas the spring is kind of gooey. It's stretchy and it's more bendable, and it kind of, I don't know. You'll notice that it always maintains its same shape even if it touches. That is, of course, if you introduce fire to the scenario. Fire tends to melt these materials apart. I haven't found a way to have them re-harden again. It would be kind of neat if you could get them to harden while they're all mixed together like that, and see what you come up with. But maybe in a future version, if there are going to be future versions of this. there's a hairline option that allows you to draw really skinny. There's a couple of options here that I don't know what they do, like bubble and splash. You can turn gravity on and off. That's with gravity off. Everything's all floaty now. And gravity back on. Let's see. There's inflow, which pours water in, kind of like the pouring option. And then there's also outflow, which you can draw anywhere you want, any way you want. Basically acts as a black hole for whatever it comes into contact with. Let's see. There's a couple of different, like, visual styles. Most of them are just kind of for seeing more detail or whatever. I personally like either blob or blob and texture. The only difference between blob and texture is that it loads these textures that you can set over here. I'll go ahead and drag the window over really quick. Right there you can see load foreground, load background, stuff like that. You can load different textures into the game to have these different textures show up as the different the different types of materials on the screen. There's also shader mode, which makes everything kind of transparent, which is also really cool looking if you put a background image in. It looks kind of lame if all you have back there is that checkerboard pattern. Anywho, there will be a link to this in the side panel over to the right of this video, and you can go and check it out for yourself. In fact, I encourage you to. This is one of those things that I highly recommend checking out. Just trying to delete the outflow here so that the room fills up until it starts to get laggy. It's already starting to get laggy on shader mode, so I'll change back to blob mode. Anyway, that's gonna be about it. Once again, look for the link in the sidebar to go and try this out for yourself. See you next time, guys. Hey guys, one more thing I wanted to show off really quick. I'm just gonna use the images that came preloaded with this program to show off another feature. One of them being the ability to select. First, you come over here and you select a type of material. I'm going to use brittle because it works nicely for what I'm about to do. And then we come back over here to our main window, and we'll take this pudding.tiff. Let's try that again. I put it too close to the bottom and it broke. It makes the game run kind of slow, but it's worth the effect. Now, you remember brittle things break apart very easily. Well, this material called jet is very heavy, and we're going to take a big slice out of that pudding. It's flan, if I'm not mistaken, which some people don't care for, but I think is very good. And as you can see, it's just, you know, cutting it up. I'm gonna put something else in here. Wait, how about I use elastic and make whatever this is? It's the screaming man from that painting. We can pick him up and wiggle him around. Okay, well, I just want to show off that that option is also available. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just dragging and dropping these objects into the screen, and I'm sure that you can also make your own custom images. These are saved as .tiff. I'm not sure if it matters, but I will I'll get back to you all on more about this game later and what I find out about loading these images into the game. See you later.